Your team sucks. Welcome back. Like, share, all that stuff. We still have Dieter Navarro and Landry Ward, up and coming MMA fighter, undefeated. We're going to talk to them about the NFL because, on our show, we talk a lot about the NFL. They're both fans, of course. Landry is a Cowboy fan. Dieter, I believe, is a Dolphin fan like myself. Jordan's also a Dolphin fan as well. So it's actually a pretty unique situation. We have three Dolphin fans and two Cowboy fans all in the same broadcast here. So it should be interesting. But Jordan, set us up here. We're going to talk about free agencies.
Free agents in general. I think we've talked quite a bit in the past about Dak Prescott and whether they should sign him. This week they offered him $33 million. Reports are that he's going to decline that. That would make him the fifth highest paid quarterback in the league. He's asking for something around the $40 million mark. He's been criminally underpaid for the first 4 years of his career, coming in as a third-round pick and actually being a start, which not many third-round picks actually start. What do you guys take? Should he hold out for 40? Should he take the 33? Should the Cowboys tell him adios?
I'm going to throw it to George first, since George is a huge Cowboy fan, a huge homer.
Well, we're about, $7 million away? Are we really going to fight again for $7 million? I think there's no other better quarterback you're going to get than Dak Prescott. Everybody else you're gambling as well. So might as well pay the guy his money. Don't do the same thing we did with Elliott last year. We bluff, and then we end up paying him in the end. So all we did was mess up the chemistry of the team and pay in the end. Eventually they're going to pay. If they do the franchise tag on him this year, they're going to lose that team. The team's done for 10, 15 years.
I'm going to have to side with them. I think you will mess up some chemistry if you don't pay him, and he is a good quarterback. I think he's been a little obviously struggled with a deep ball, but he had all right numbers last year. Maybe not highest paid quarterback in the league numbers, but when it comes down to it, he produces. And you got Mike McCarthy coming in, who's a quarterback guru with Aaron, and maybe he can come through and show Dak the ropes and get him on a Super Bowl path and get some winning ways coming back to Dallas.
I love Cowboy fans. I always like to say Super Bowl in every freaking line they talk about. But my take is I think you're both right. I think the problem with the Cowboys was not Dak Prescott. It was their coach. I think they got a much better coach now. I think they have a chance to go deep into the playoffs. I think you pay him and you call it a day and don't disrupt the team. You have a new coach coming in. The culture will be a little bit better. Dieter, what do you think?
I think they should get rid of him. I can't stand that. I don't see he does great. He never gets you guys to the playoffs.
Exactly. There's a lot cheaper quarterbacks that'll take that team with that offensive line, that wide receiver core to 8-8 and miss the playoffs.
Yeah, everybody wants to blame the coach. Is the guy? Is that guy? That guy's not.
There was some terrible game management strictly by the coaches, not just Dak and the offense.
Yeah,
You're right, but when they needed it down the stretch, he missed passes over and over again. If they really needed one, you could count on Dak to not be there.
When they really needed it down the stretch, Amari Cooper was sitting on the goddamn bench. We got to talk about the right things. When we needed down the stretch, Amari Cooper was on the bench. So whose fault is that?
How are you going to have
the right thing? We're going to talk about one play.
It was the most important play of the damn year.
8-8.
It was the most important play of the year.
You guys lost to the Jets, man. Come on. We lost to the Jets.
The Dolphins fans are telling us who we lost to.
Hey, the Dolphins beat the Patriots last game of the season in New England, right? That means good things are coming, right?
I like the new coach. I like him.
Hey, our expectation was to win like 2 games. We actually, we won our Super Bowl. That was the freaking last game of the season.
Yeah, for real.
I want the quarterback from Oregon.
Oh, yeah. That's actually a good segue.
Yeah, Herbert's tough.
That's actually a really good segue. Who should the Dolphins draft as a quarterback? You think Herbert?
Yes, sir.
I think this is a really deep draft for quarterbacks. I mean, you've got the obvious ones like Tua, you got Herbert. I think if Jordan Love goes to someplace like the Saints and sits for a couple years, at least 1 year, he's the next Mahomes. Like there's a lot of talent there. I really like Jordan Love a lot. On top of that, big free agents coming out as well. There's a lot of quarterbacks out there for the first time in a long time. It's not slim pickings at all, and it's a deep draft for quarterback as well.
What about Tua? I want to get everybody's takes on Tua because that injury that he sustained is pretty serious. And, he's an incredibly talented kid, but would you risk Tua, George?
I think that injury is just too much. I mean, the kid blew the ass bone out. I mean, his leg went through his ass bone. I've never heard of anything like that in my life. And I don't know how you can recover from that. Even the mentality of it, just thinking every time that pain's going to come back might have him taking, a stutter step or not reacting the same way. I don't know if I'd toss the dice on him this year.
Hey, Jordan, you ever blow out your ass bone, bro?
No.
No?
No.
All right, you're young, bro. You still have time. It can still happen.
I like Tua, all right? I really don't think this injury is as big of a concern as people think. Everything coming out of his medical tent has him recovering quite well, being ready even for the start of the season.
All right.
He falls to Miami at 5. You take him and you don't look back.
Well, what are the doctors supposed to say? He's doing bad. This injury looks horrible. Everything is fucking brutal. They're going to tell you exactly what you're going to – hey, he's recovering great. He's on path to be the next number 1 pick. Man, that was a bad injury. No one's had that injury before.
This is number 1. Tank for Tua.
The
reason Miami went rebuild was Tua. Tank for Tua. And now we're going to pass on him for what? Who?
You really want a guy that blew out his ass bone in Miami? That's
the wrong place for him to go.
Now, people forget that Ryan Tannehill was like the Iron Man. That was like the one thing he had going for him. Played slot receiver at Texas A&M, was never injured for 5 years, goes to Miami, he's the most hit quarterback in the league, and all of a sudden they consider him injury prone. That's what Miami does to people.
But nobody even wants this Tannehill kid. Even Tennessee's throwing him away again this year. Nobody wants him. Why is that?
Well, that's an interesting segue onto itself because the rumor there is that they're going to get Tom Brady. Dieter, what do you think?
I'd be nervous.
Where's Tom Brady going, Dieter? That's what I want to know.
The Dolphins now. I think he stays in New England. It's too much history.
Yeah.
Well, you've been there your whole career. You're the best quarterback of all time. Why leave? Be loyal.
The owner calls him like his son. The owner acts like he's his son. So.
And I'll tell you why.
I'd like to see that as well, but it won't. I don't think he sticks.
I'm going to tell you why he'll leave. Is because he's an incredibly competitive person, and he's already known as the best quarterback, to play in the history of the NFL. But he's tied to Bill Belichick. Everything he's done is tied to Bill Belichick. I guarantee you, in his mind, he's like, you know what? I want to go get one without him, right? And then his legacy even goes to the next level. And to do it with Vrabel, right? That's his guy. He won a Super Bowl with Vrabel, right? Yep. And that team that they have over there, I thought at first I was like, no, he's not going to leave. But then I started thinking about Tennessee and what they did with Tannehill. Tannehill's a better quarterback than people think. But 1 year, if you're going for a Super Bowl for 1 year and you plug Tom Brady into that group, it's pretty dangerous. Right?
They got weapons. They got the offensive line. They need Coughlin back or something at the tackle position, though. It starts in the trenches. So they need to fix their offensive line or Brady's not going to have any fun there.
All right. That's good for today. Landry's got to go train. Dieter's looking at me like, hey, we got to go get to work. So we'll see y'all next time. Holler.